Rob Chirnside here for Cecil.tv, Cecil Weekly, and we have another guest, Mary Jo Jablonski. Welcome to Cecil Weekly.
Thank you so much for having me.
Thank you. The pleasure is ours. Mary Jo is an icon in Cecil County. She's the Elkton Town Commissioner, one of several, and the Executive Director of the Elkton Alliance.
Yes.
So, that's two hats for you. You
Yes.
balance it well. I've known you for many years, and Elkton just seems to get better and better all the time. Why don't you tell us about a little bit of background as we talk, but what about this new grant that I read about in the Cecil Wig?
Okay, I did just receive for the Elkton Alliance a $25,000 grant, and that is going to a new imaging, branding, marketing study for the town. We know, most of us know how the town has changed, like someone like you who's there a lot. Others don't recognize that. So we're bringing in a professional company from North Carolina, and they're going to be doing this study so we could get out there. We are new, we are fresh, we are growing, and we're getting into the times that's not the old Elkton. So we're real excited about that we could do it. And the grant's paying for most of it, and the grant comes from the Maryland Department of Housing and Community Development. And with being one of the 28 designated main streets in the state of Maryland, we have the opportunity to apply for some grants that are not available to everyone. This was what they call an MIP, Maryland Improvement Grant, through the Main Street program. So, and they know we are working on the downtown especially, and that's where this is going. So we were approved for that grant, and I'm very excited about it.
That's awesome. So businesses and individuals who have property downtown or rent property, if they want to do something to improve it that ties in with this grant, they can do that.
That's actually another one. That's a facade grant through the Department of Housing and Community Development, and that you have to be a sustainable community, which most of Cecil County is. I believe there's one town looking into it right now, but we have been for a long time. So we are now working on another $50,000 grant at the Elkton Alliance for facade improvements. And if you were to open a business downtown or in the downtown business area, you can apply for 50% of the cost of redoing the front of your business.
Wow.
So if it cost you $20,000, you could apply for 10. And it goes to our facade committee, then to the state of Maryland for approval, and you're off to having a beautiful new look. And we are right now up to $500,000 in grants from the facade grant program and almost $3 million in downtown improvements. So that has really gone far.
And that puts the spotlight on Elkton, upgrades everything, and
yes.
You still kind of retain some of the historical old Elkton too.
And that's why it has to go to the state, because they will not okay everything, because they do want to maintain that historic look, and it has.
Kind of a balancing act.
Yes.
Kind of like being commissioner and alliance executive.
Well, that's all
that?
alliance. That is all with my job at the alliance. And you know, the difference is at the alliance I worked for the pleasure of the board. I am an employee. The board tells me what they want done, and I do. But as a commissioner, I am a decision maker. I am a vote. So I help make the decisions for the betterment of the community.
Right, right. And there are community events, and there are alliance events too, correct?
The Alliance runs all the events downtown except for the 4th of July. The 4th of July is the Town of Elkton. So we do all the car shows, the Music on Main, the Fall Fest, the Memorial Day Parade. And you've been involved with the
Halloween parade.
And the Halloween parade.
With that giant vehicle that spews fire and bounces up and down. Oh, it's a sight to behold.
Yeah, the Halloween parade has come so far. I mean, this year we had over 800 participants in the parade, besides the people that come out to look. So it really has grown from a little morning event to a really great nighttime parade.
Yeah, and a lot of wonderful stuff going on downtown. Mary Jo, what's the funnest part of your job in the Alliance? And I guess that's kind of your job, and being a commissioner is a political onus or obligation.
Yes, yes. Although I love being a commissioner, I love being part of, and I think both my jobs have to do with people. I love people, and I'm able to interact with people. Like coming here tonight, the guests, I know them all. I know their stories, you know, and you, and it's just wonderful to always be with people. And with the Alliance, I think seeing when we have an event, and you know, whether it's a car show and there's a gentleman that comes down from the senior apartment, and he always has to give me a hug and say, "Thank you so much. This reminds me of the days when I was young," you know. Right. Or the little kid getting on Santa's lap at Christmas time. It brings joy to them, and that's what makes me happy. Right.
And I imagine you have your challenges as well.
We do, and it's always, you know, it's whether it's funding or time or, but it's not really a challenge at this time. We are fortunate to have a great board of directors, and at the town level, our new mayor, well, he's not new, Mayor Rob Alt, I still say new, but and the board that we have now is a great board. And we all seem to want the same thing, and that's bringing Elkton back. You know, the state of Maryland on their Department of Commerce website, if you would go on, it'll say open for business. And that's what we want people to know. Elkton is open for business, and we want you to come to our town.
Yes, yes. And people who live outside of Elkton need to come downtown.
Yes.
Need to come to town.
Yes.
And find out what's going on. And how can they find out what's going on?
They could go to our Facebook page at the Elkton Chamber and Alliance. They could go to our website, elktonalliance.org. The town keeps it on their website, all the events that are happening as well. We send it up to them. And this Friday is First Friday. I know you've been involved with a lot of them, and we have a new business opening, a new owner for the Gallery 122 with new craft types and art things going in there. So we hope everybody comes down to enjoy that.
And First Friday is kind of like a town-wide party.
Yeah.
You ought to check it out. If you haven't checked it out, you ought to check it out.
Yeah, you walk the loop. The restaurants have specials. The art galleries all have, whether it's wine and cheese or something else, you kind of taste your way through. But it's a great night, and it's becoming very, very popular with the Arts Council to the Cecil College. I mean, it's just, and of course, Gracie's Cafe's open mic, which is the best kept secret in Cecil County.
Well, Cecil.tv wants to find out more about that one.
Yes, yes, they definitely need to.
And what's next? What's your next thing coming? The first Friday, I guess, in February.
First Friday in February, and in March we're celebrating our Citizen of the Year. And this year, I will be the first to say here, it is Sue Whitaker. Sue Whitaker has been a volunteer for the Town of Elkton. I was involved since 1998, and she was prior to that with the women's organization, the Elkton Alliance, and it kind of went full circle on her being one of the first to start on the revitalization to the town. And now that she's retired, and she opened up a quilt store on Main Street, Sue's Quilts. So we're excited about her being chosen, and we'll celebrate that March 30th.
Awesome, awesome. That's great. Mary Jo, thank you very much for coming on Cecil.tv.
Thank you, Rob,
Cecil
for having
Weekly.
me.
See you First Friday.
Okay.